Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Grade 8 Moving Up ceremony for the class of 2024. My name is Miss Jen, and I have the pleasure of serving as the middle school assistant principal. It is my honor to take you through this ceremony over the next 90 minutes. We will begin with the program of events. During this ceremony, we will have an opening address from our director, Dr. Alan Knobloch, followed by the faculty speaker, Mr. Farley. We will then get to take a look at how much our students in 8th grade have changed over the years. The 8th grade advisors have some words of wisdom, love, and encouragement for the students, followed by the highlight of the ceremony, the students themselves. Each student will give a 1-minute speech by advisory. We will close our ceremony with the words from our secondary principal, Mr. Bird. To begin with, we welcome Dr. Alan Knobloch, the director of the International School of Takar.
Congratulations. You have completed your middle school years and are now ready to go into high school. Next year, it counts. I can tell you from my many years of working with high school students that Harvard, Yale, or the University of Oxford have never asked for a middle school transcript. As far as the college is concerned, official record starts in grade 9. This is both potentially a scary and exciting thought. It is scary because now it's real. It's exciting because now you're ready. Sometime in the next week, take the time to thank your teachers. It is the best gift you can give them. They have worked hard to prepare you both academically and socially. One piece of advice I give every student heading to high school is this. Whether you're returning to ISD or headed somewhere else, try something new. Find something you've never done and go for it. It can be a sport, a theater production, Model United Nations, student government, a community service project. High school is the time to explore and figure out who you are and what you can be. Take the risk and try something new. ISD Grade 8 students, congratulations, you've done it.
Thank you, Dr. Knobloch. We are so fortunate to have a director such as yourself here at the International School of Takar. We will now welcome Mr. Randy Farley. Mr. Farley is one of the individuals and society teachers at ISD, and over his 3 years here, has forged a special bond with the students. This is clear to see as the students chose Mr. Farley to be their moving up ceremony faculty speaker. It is with great pleasure that I introduce Mr. Randy Farley.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome parents and other family members, board members, Dr. Knobloch, administrators, faculty, and our special guests, the ISD Class of 2024. I am honored to have been asked to share a few thoughts on your very special day, your moving up ceremony. All of you are to be congratulated for your efforts throughout this school year, and yes, especially for your efforts since March. While no one could have predicted the circumstances confronting us, many of you have realized that while you could not predict the situation, you can control your reaction to a situation. That knowledge is empowering. We cannot be together as we are accustomed and as we wanted. However, your education did not stop. Together, as Jaguars, we found ways to manage. Was it ideal? Not always, but you did get to sleep later. No one had MSSP, and snacks were plentiful, and your kitchen and refrigerator were a lot closer than Shaddy's. However, you did have to remember to change from your day pajamas into your night pajamas on a regular basis. During class, you have heard instruction often takes place in a group setting, while learning takes place on an individual level. This is liberating for you because it allows each of you to take on the responsibility to accomplish more than perhaps you expect or think you are capable of doing under these challenging circumstances. The times they are a-changin' certainly describes our school year. Here's a splash of music history for you. Bob Dylan, an American singer, songwriter, and World Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, who has been a major figure in popular culture for nearly the last 60 years, wrote the lyrics to that song title. Much of his celebrated works date from the 1960s, when The Times They Are A-Changin' and other songs became anthems for the civil rights and anti-war movements, reflecting the changing times in the United States and many other parts of the world. Dylan used his writing skill, musical talent, and historical observations to express the world he observed around him. His ballads told us a story. What's your story? How will you recall or share your story in the future? How were your times a-changin'? All of us have a story to tell, and we want to hear the stories of others. For what else is history but the recollections of other times, other cultures, and other perspectives put into many different packages such as songs, plays, books, movies, diaries, drawings, dances, and countless more creations. Here are a few remarks from your classmates on their changing times. Sasha said, "Online school was not easy. Even though at the beginning I wanted school to close, now I want it to open. To make my situation better, I played football every day to make sure I still get exercise, and playing my favorite sport makes me happy. I learned that school is fun and that I never realized how much I liked it." Sophia declared, "To the pandemic situation, you brought pain to my life, and I should forever hold that against you. But you've also given me skills and the belief that I needed to surpass my limits, and for that I am extremely grateful." Of course, it wasn't all doom and gloom. There were fun moments that I'll cherish. For example, spending more time with my family and getting to know my household members. Ibrahima wrote, "We will always be Jaguars, no matter the distance between us. I have learned that learning has no limits and cannot be stopped." Mona mentioned, "Something I have accomplished was becoming part of an amazing friendship group where we all support each other no matter what." When you have the opportunity, ask a classmate about their story. Yes, there will be stories of great proficiency with video games, being bored texting friends, watching movies, or selecting audio only during Zoom room class meetings so no one could see what you were wearing or how your hair looked. But you will also uncover new skills they practiced. Some did drawings, others sharpened their language skills, and others drew closer as a family. I suspect all of you look back to earlier times during the school year and had fond memories of a regular school day. The older generation, anyone beyond grade 8, fondly refers to these days as the good old days. Going forward, what happens next towards high school? I would suggest some thinking, planning, and goal setting on your part. Goals. I'll get you started and give you your first major goal: graduate from high school. And it goes without saying that all of us would very much like that to be from ISD. Talk to your parents, teachers, counselors, administrators, and then establish your worthwhile goals. To help you with those goals, read, even 10 to 15 minutes a day. Among many, I would recommend authors like Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, Og Mandino, and Dr. David Schwartz, plus the others you already know and like. I believe you have gained strength facing the numerous challenges over the school year. Facing these challenges has invigorated you in anticipation of your high school years. Now, perhaps you better understand that yes, it is you who is responsible for your education. That is liberating, empowering, and invigorating for each of you, especially knowing that there are many people ready and willing to assist as you begin your high school career. To the class of 2024 at ISD, Mrs. Farley and I wish you the very best in all you do and hope you enjoy the hunt, the discovery of your talents, goals, and successes throughout your life. God bless and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farley. These 8th graders have been incredibly fortunate to have their middle school years coincide with your 3 years here at ISD. You will be missed as you move back to the United States to retire, fish, and play with your grandchildren. Although after teaching for over 20 years, we won't be surprised to see you working with students again, either in a classroom or on a basketball court. We wish you all the best. Now, let's take a look at how much our 8th graders have grown over the years.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in circle, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're found. And everyone falls down sometimes, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Feeling good, like I should. When in circle, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Hey, some days you wake up and nothing works, you feel surrounded. Gotta give your feet some gravity to get you grounded. Keep good things inside your ears just like the waves and sound it. And just say whatever, cause there is no way you're grounded. Everyone falls down sometimes, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Feeling good, like I should. When in circle, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in circle, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain. When I believed in forever, everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost. And I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'll never drop. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts someday. Yeah. Everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh. Some told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. See you in a better place. I talk about family when family's all that we got. Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side. And now you go be the last ride. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling stronger. What's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember, talk about family when family's all that we got. Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride. Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go. And every road you take will always lead you home. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you
Thank you to Mr. Laria for putting together this special tribute to our 8th graders. Now we will hear from our 8th grade advisors. These teachers have been with the students all year, have helped them grow, and will miss them as they move into high school. First, Madame Kapner, one of our French teachers.
Congratulations, you made it. But if you think that middle school was challenging, be ready for greater challenges. I mean, broken hearts, friendship fallouts, impossible parents, annoying teachers, and even more work. I could go on, and I'm so glad it's you graduating and not me. But as your advisor, and because I know some of you since kindergarten, I would like to give you a few advice before you go. Never be afraid. Go for it. Fall and stand up stronger. If you do not understand something, ask questions. Always ask questions. Be yourself. Be truthful. And trust yourself. You can achieve anything you want. Read and write. It will take you to amazing places and it will help you to know yourself better. The grade 9 door is open. Bon courage et bonne chance à tous. Au revoir. À bientôt.
Miss Ari Wetland, one of our math and science teachers.
Hi, 8th grade. I wrote you a short message to just tell you guys congratulations. So here it goes. Congratulations, you've made it to graduation, your moving up ceremony. I'm so glad seeing you all grow and change over the course of the year. I know you will do great in 9th grade. I'm so proud of you guys and I'll miss all of you. All right, make sure you all keep in touch. Here's my email. Bye.
Miss Carr, one of our language and literature teachers.
Hey guys, Miss Karg here, and I'm just here to wish you congratulations on moving on from middle school into high school, especially here during your moving up ceremony. I'm so proud of you all. It's been such a joy getting to know everybody this year in grade 8, where you struggle with who you are and who your friends are and who the school is and who this strange lady is up there who keeps cracking jokes for no reason. I'm so happy to have been part of this time in your life, and I hope you know I am always available if you need anything from me. So once again, congratulations and best of luck with your next stage.
Miss Long, who teaches in the Learning Center.
Aloha, class of 2024. Thank you for all of your open-minded experiences over this past year as we have all grown together in so many ways we didn't even know existed. Let me tell you, you as a group are thunder, you are lightning, and St. Louis was truly an incredible experience to witness firsthand our carbon footprint and how a few of us coming together can build sea defenses to really be the greater change in the world that we need to see. So thank you for each of you being your unique selves. And I challenge you to move differently. I challenge you to begin new healthy habits. I challenge you to pick up a new hobby. I challenge you to love more, be more, see more. And most of all, I challenge you to make something out of nothing. So keep on dancing and keep on singing. Peace and love.
Mr. Farley, one of our INS teachers.
Mona, Jaffa, Noor, Nina, Jessica, and Chantal, Edward, Siobhan, and Tomas. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. It's my pleasure to visit with you for a minute and congratulate you on your moving up ceremony and all the work that you've done in middle school to get to this point. Mrs. Farley and I are also moving up in a sense because all of you already know, but just to make it official, Mrs. Farley and I, as you guys are moving up, we are retiring. And so we want to let you know that going into high school, we want you to have a great success. We want you to join teams, make friends, join MUN, of course, do your work, and also read every day. And there's something in there about being a cat as well, but you remember all of that. And also, we don't say goodbye. We just say, we'll see you later somewhere in the world.
Miss Eileen, the heart of our middle school, our counselor.
Hi, grade 8. I just want to say congratulations to you all on this very special day. You are passionate, you are fun, you are curious, you are strong, you are sensitive, and you are loyal as a group. I am so proud of all the growth that you have made in these last 3 years in middle school. And I feel really great joy and great privilege to have been able to experience these 3 years with you. I'm wishing you all the best as you move on to high school. I know you're going to be great. And please come back and visit us in the middle school. Take care, grade 8. We'll miss you. Bye.
Here's a little message from me.
8th grade! Congratulations. Well done. I remember when you were wee little 6th graders in the middle schools, my first year at ISD, and you guys were my very first middle school class. I remember teaching you theater, and I loved you since the very beginning. In the 7th grade, you became a little more mature. You were the heart of the middle school. Fantastic. 8th grade, you guys have matured into these leaders in the middle school, and I cannot wait to see what you do in the high school. Middle school is going to miss you so much. I am going to miss you so much, but don't worry, I'm still going to see you every day in the hallways, so I'm very excited about that. So I just have one word to say for you as you go into your moving up ceremony for 8th grade. Congratulations!
And Mr. Thorburn, one of our design teachers and the 8th grade team lead, who deserves our deep gratitude for leading the grade level this year, as well as building this website to celebrate the 8th graders.
Hello, graduating class of 2024. Congratulations, you've made it. You've made it to the end of grade 8. Well done. But don't think for a second that the hard work finishes here. It only gets harder. We've set the foundation for you moving forward positively into grade 9 and then hopefully onto grade 10 and the diploma program. As the grade 8 team lead, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you mature over the last academic year. There's been some good times and there's been some bad times, but understand this, everything that I've done has been to make you a better person, to make you the best person that you can be. So, good luck as you go into grade 9 and come and visit me anytime you want.
Thank you to all the faculty and staff who worked tirelessly to help make the middle school experience a special one. We will all miss these 8th graders and are so proud of them. We will now have the highlight of our moving up ceremony, our students. We will hear their speeches by advisory, beginning with Ms. Karg's advisory. Nomi Bakshan.
Middle school. Just another 3 years of my life? Well, not quite. Middle school is a stepping stone in life. Another journey with many walls, but at the end there's a prize. Your prize is not my prize, and my prize isn't your prize, for my prize is a step closer to adulthood. Many say adulthood is not as good as it seems. I don't believe what these many say, for I am me and they are them. What you think is not what I think, and what I think is not what you think, because I think not what everybody else thinks. I enjoy having my opinions because I don't want to be the same as everybody. It's easier to think the same than to think different. But an easy life isn't a fun life to me. I live my life differently than many, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, I am happy. And I believe saying and believing the truth is a key part in life.
Usman Balde.
Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world. Harriet Tubman. At the start of my journey in middle school, I was nothing more than a student looking for an education. I learned to cherish every great moment full of twists and turns, lefts and rights, and ups and downs. To be honest, middle school really isn't all that. But at the end of the day, you learn to make great bonds with students and teachers. I think the time has come to close this final chapter of this book and to move on to the next one. Thanks to Miss Kate, Miss Jen, and Coach Yaya, I have achieved. But there's also my parents. They're the two elements that caused me to grow and to flourish. I could never know how to make it up to them for all they have done to get me this far. The least I could do is to succeed in life, or at least try. And as a dreamer, that is my great dream. Thank you.
Rita Cardona de Muller.
Believe you can, and you're halfway there. This quote by Theodore Roosevelt describes perfectly my experience in middle school. When I first arrived at ISD in 6th grade, I didn't speak any English and I was scared and nervous. But thankfully, I made some great friends that accepted me even if I was a new kid who didn't speak any English. To be in a new school and not speak a word of English can be hard. But as my quote says, you have to believe you can. At the beginning, I told myself that I was never going to succeed and that I was never going to learn English. But I didn't give up, and now I'm graduating from middle school really proud of myself. I want to thank my parents for making me who I am today and for always believing in me. I also want to thank my teachers, all of them, but especially Miss Julianne, because she was the one who helped me through the process of learning English, and she was there when I needed help. My friends made a really important part in my life. They were the ones that never left my side and made my middle school experience so much better. So thank you to everyone who made part in my middle school.
Asuka Egami.
To get through the hardest journey, we need to take only one step at a time, but we must keep on stepping. This quote by Unknown perfectly captures my middle school experience. Let me explain why. These past 3 years was really hard for me. For example, I've had so many friendship problems, but in the end, I have friends that support me and make me laugh and smile every day. And I've gone through the journey because people that were in my life for the past 3 years pushed me to be a better person. Thank you to everyone, but I specifically want to thank Miss Julianne from the beginning of this journey and now, helping me when I had trouble with any homework. She explained it and helped me understand. Going through different obstacles made me realize what I'm doing wrong and how I can fix it. It also made me the person who I am now. But I will keep on stepping and I always will. Thank you.
Simon Engel.
Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. This quote by Albert Einstein sums up my middle school experience very well. I will consider myself as the fish. When I first arrived, I was this golden fish swimming in this fish tank, but ISD helped me swim out of the box. ISD made me discover running by including me in the cross-country team, thanks to Miss Mary, who coached and brought us to La Crosse for a race. I was also allowed to exhibit some of my artwork for the first time, thanks to Mrs. Merriweather, Mrs. Keith, and Mr. Farley for your encouragement and having my art on your classroom walls. Now it's time for the fish to join the High School of Fish. Thank you, Simon.
Josephine Kalev.
Middle school experience was like a weird staircase. There were good steps, like times with friends at sleepovers, screaming our favorite songs in the middle of the night, or going to see Plaza together on weekends, and running to Yogurtlandia after school, and even school trips. But there were some slightly bad steps, like some bad grades, fights with friends and family, and dances, because they're a lot of fun, but there was also a lot of drama. Sadly, there were also some bad steps, like the process of finding good friends over these 3 years, or 7th grade, in which I was pretty overwhelmed in by my mom's twice broken arm, fights with friends and family, bad grades, and losing pets. Right now, COVID-19 is a pretty bad step for all of us. However, all of this has led to who I am now. I've reached the top of the stairs. I know who/what really matters most. I found interests and awesome friends. I'm discovering the world and myself, and I'm ready for my journey in high school.
Noelle Schroeder.
My father once brought me back a book about Virginia Woolf from one of his business trips. And even though the ending of her life was quite tragic, much like one of her poems or stories, she left behind a very wise quote for us. She said that one cannot have peace by avoiding life. Whether with peace she meant happiness or death, I don't know. All I know is that when it came to my middle school experience, she was right. I could not have learned by avoiding the very valid questions I have to ask. I could not have made friends by avoiding that I will have to say goodbye. And I could not have gotten good grades by avoiding that at some point I will have to receive a poor one. Most importantly, what my teachers have taught me is that I cannot succeed by avoiding failure. Thank you.
Miriam Henda.
For the past 3 years, I have been learning a lot. I've learned a lot about different languages, cultures, and people. What was the hardest thing to learn during those 3 years was me, who I was, my personality, my emotions, my fears, and my persona. What I have learned during those 3 years is fortunately going to stay with me for the rest of my life. I have learned to love myself for who I am and not who I wanted to be. To understand that there is bad in everyone and to let the negativity just pass through as it is going to go. Not only did I learn about myself, I learned about friendships, the type of people that I connected to and people that made me happy. Now, I hope I can keep the connections that I have made with certain people as a childhood memory. And even if they leave, I know they will still be here with me. I also wish to find other people that will make me grow and teach me how to live a happy life in high school.
Marley Trimble.
I'd like to preface this speech by saying I had no idea how to write a proper speech. So this follows the guide of the WikiHow article, How to Make a Middle School Graduation Speech. The first 2 steps include the introduction. Hello teachers, staff, family, and most importantly, my fellow graduating class. My name is Marley Trimble, and I would like to take the time to reflect on some of the middle school memories that we shared at ISD. We built many friendships during this time, ones I hope last until high school. And there were a lot of new occurrences this year as well, but there were also a lot of highlights too, like Week Without Walls and good times spent in class. And of course, I'd like to thank teachers for making all this possible. The next step in the template was to create an impactful conclusion, but because I didn't know how to do that, I decided to write my honest thoughts. Thank you all for giving me such a great 8th grade experience at ISD. I hope you all have a great time next year. I know I will because I read the next article, How to Survive High School.
Gaius Josiah.
What is love? Love is playing every game like it's your last. I'm a shy person. I've been shy during those 3 years. I realized that I took care of other people's opinion a lot. That's what keeping me from moving forward. These 3 years were like a test for me. I made a lot of mistakes. I was rather focused on basketball most of the time. Instead of eating, I was playing. I was playing before and after school. I would like to say this to people who are coming, that they have to put the work at first place. And I would like to thank all my teachers for being patient with me, and in particular Miss Kate and Miss Julian, because they helped me a lot. Michael Jordan missed a lot of shots in his career. Well, it's the same for me. I plan to miss a lot of shots before success. Thank you.
We will now hear from Ms. Ari's advisory. Hasina Abdullahi.
Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Coco Chanel. This quote by Coco Chanel perfectly captures my middle school experience. Let me explain why. My middle school experience was like a fashion runway, filled with tears, anxiety, and studying, but it lacked friends. So like everyone, I tried to fit in. But it was significantly hard being that I was the only Black hijabi in my grade. And on top of that, strict parents. After some time, my runway started to grow and boost. More friends, more pressure, and then more pressure, less studying, and then less studying and more hangouts. It was hard to find a balance between family pressure and social pressure. I didn't really care about what I wanted. But by my final year of middle school, my runway started to get longer and narrower as I had to let some people out. But it was much more enjoyable to walk on. If there was anything my final year taught me, it was that sometimes being yourself does make you cool. Thank you.
Ulis Branchat.
Perhaps one day I will go into space. This quote by Stephen Hawking represents my middle school. It means that even though you have a problem, which he had, a big one, you can continue in your life and continue to grow as a person. My problem was English. When I came here to Senegal in 6th grade, it was my first year in Africa, my first year in middle school, and my first year in English. Yeah, that weird language. But I went over it and continued with my life. Since 6th grade, I did so much outside and inside the school. I continued playing rugby and started surfing. And I even went to volleyball and Ben Whistle. Talking about Whistle, it was an amazing experience. Going to another country for 3 or 2 days and for only 6 days might seem crazy, but it's really cool. In conclusion, yeah, middle school was cool.
Soa Choi.
Do all the other things, the ambitious things. Travel, get rich, get famous, innovate, lead, fall in love, make and lose fortunes. But as you do, to the extent that you can, or in the direction of kindness, by George Saunders. Last year, at around this time of the year, as I was watching last year's 8th graders graduate, I pondered about what ours was going to be like, and what I had imagined of what currently is happening is totally different. In elementary school, I didn't think I would play a Mayan or Sneetch for any type of play, make bows and arrows with sticks, play card games all day in Abuja. You get the idea. Not everything goes as I imagined, but there was always someone supporting me, whether it was one of my parents, a friend, a teacher, or even my sister. Middle school is when I learned that kindness to each other is what will help us go through difficult times in high school, so I want to remind us all to err in the direction of kindness.
Tyra Flamini.
There are better starters than me, but I'm a strong finisher, Usain Bolt. Middle school has been 3 long, hard, fun, difficult 3 years, but I finally made it to the end. I wouldn't have been able to make it to the end without the help of ISD staff members and my friends. This quote really explains my middle school experience, because whether it was starting a new unit, a new sport, a new challenge, a new friendship, it's always been hard, but I can assure you that I finished strong. And I want to say thank you to everyone who made my 3 years in middle school better and good, and I'm looking forward to being in high school.
Lucas Lissett.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop to look around once in a while, you could miss it. Ferris Bueller. Middle school has gone by so quickly. I started the year off reluctantly going back to classes and hoping this year won't be long. And it wasn't. Since 6th grade, I've been taking for granted the time I spent with others, to watching them leave. While I could have slowed down to see things in detail and take time to remember things, I sped up to the point where most of this year is a blur, with a couple of events popping out every once in a while. In conclusion, even though I hadn't done as much as I wanted to, this time of my life has been fun and I did enjoy middle school. I hope to be able to do this in the years to come. Thank you.
Julian Little.
Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. This quote by Nice Nin captures my middle school experience, and let me explain why. When I was in 7th grade, I was very shy and did not raise my hand very often. I liked to just listen to the class go on. Although I was learning a lot,
I realized if I participated more, I would gain a deeper understanding of topics. And if I asked more questions about my mistakes, I would do better on the next test. As my courage and participation increased, my life of learning expanded too. I was able to find more of my passions in different subjects such as biology and chemistry. My new courage also led to stronger relationships with teachers who were always there to help. As I move on to high school, I must have even more courage to meet the new challenges that await. I would like to thank all of my teachers who supported me, and of course my classmates who were there to make my middle school experience so memorable.
Fatumeri Mbang.
We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. This quote by Maya Angelou perfectly captures my middle school experience. Let me explain why. My middle school years were a long and winding path that gave me many opportunities to discover myself, but to also be more independent. Remembering the first day of middle school in Malawi as a shy little girl, in a new school, a new country, a new school system, and different accents, changes came through it all. Adaptation was my tool to succeed in my new environment, and also when I reintegrated back to Senegal in 7th grade. At ISD, I met new people and reunited with my friends again. The teachers were supportive and helped me through challenges that I faced. Today, I'm that butterfly who adapted to many changes presented to me, and I'm ready for a new beginning.
Medina Delia Sako.
My middle school experience was like a book. Each time you turn a page, you discover something new. There's good and bad moments. Good moments, for example, getting a good grade in Mr. Forjohn's class, and bad moments, for example, staying after school in the class because you didn't understand something. I had 3 stages. In 6th grade, the first stage was to learn and adapt to the environment. In 7th grade is to apply what I learned in 6th grade, and in 8th grade is to get more familiar with things. All these 3 years taught me how to be myself and I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I could do anything if I just put my mind into it and try harder each time. I hope there are many more years like this, and I hope I learn a lot more in high school, and I'm ready to go.
Olufunmi Aurelia Sarah Hunton.
Hi, ISD community. My middle school year was like a ghost train, with each one of them with its own fears and challenges, with the pressure of not knowing what is to come. But what was most refreshing about this year was that I had people to stand beside me, people I knew would have my back no matter what, people that I could count on. Being shy was hard for me. I doubted myself and wished it was over already. It's because of these people that I am who I am today. When everything seemed over, I knew I wasn't alone. Coming to ISD wasn't easy as well, since it was a completely different system. But I was happy to see that I could still find these heartwarming people around me. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better, by Jim Rome.
Sophia Fugali.
I always thought middle school would be dreadful, sleepless nights, endless assignments, and human expectations and unfamiliar faces. While that is partly true, I feel the weight of the program was so light because of the friends and family I made here. I faced challenge after challenge, but each hurdle felt significantly lower as we continued to progress through middle school. Whenever one would expect us to fall, we would pick each other back up, whether that be during our bench and English class, or ninja games in the locker area, or playing volleyball with a pack of tissue paper. We made the most of any situation we were in, and through that we created a bond amongst ourselves that I'm sure will carry with us forever. I was asked to write a speech before I finished middle school, which may seem weird because how can someone be reflective about an experience that hasn't finished yet? But I think this is because this experience will never end. As years from now, I'll still have funny stories to tell, familiar faces to see, and not a single regret.
Mr. Farley's advisory. Mona Burestro.
In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life by Robert Frost. My middle school experience was definitely not a highway. More like a country road where bumps gave me headaches and dust collected on my feet. But all of these obstacles made these 3 long, tiring years called middle school quite memorable for me, with people that supported me and created memories with me that are going to stick with me for a while. Like creating a crossbow out of wood and showing up late to our first math class, for example. All of these people, moments, and memories helped pave the road for me that got me where I am now. And it's knowing that I have all these people behind me, supporting me in everything I do, that help me progress so much. For, as I've learned, life goes on.
Edward Omar Ferretti.
Do not fear mistakes. You will know failure. Continue to reach out. Benjamin Franklin. This quote by Benjamin Franklin perfectly summarizes my middle school experience because I've had many, many mistakes I regret. But the most important thing about them is that I never let them bring me down without a fight. The good thing about mistakes is that you can learn from them. You see, to me, middle school were like trains. I was a passenger and I had multiple trains to choose from. Now those trains were options. They brought me to different places. And it either got me to a good place or a bad place. I've had many memorable moments in middle school. And I'm thankful to have gone to ISD for the last 6 years for elementary and middle school. Thank you for everything.
Shabang Keshri.
I'd like to give a big thank you to all the people who supported me in this journey. These include my teachers, my parents, as well as my friends and coaches. The best way to predict the future is to create it. These words by Abraham Lincoln perfectly sum up my middle school experience. When I came to this school, I was from a fixed mindset background. However, thankful to my teachers, they have helped me realize how open-minded I could be and how diverse I've become. My journey in middle school was like a cake with 3 layers. The sponge bread, which were my teachers helping me realize who I am and what I'll be remembered for. The creme caramel, which were my friends and parents supporting me to be better at everything. Lastly was the icing, which was me and my mindset to stay calm and composed, even when I couldn't make my soccer team for the 3rd time in 3 years. And lastly, this journey has helped me realize and identify my passion, soccer. And this passion has helped me motivate me and also helped me do better academically. And as we have so much ahead of us, I like to say, life isn't about how many days you live, it's how much you live in those days. Thank you.
Jessica Czar.
We know we are, but not we may be. My name is Jessica Czar, and the school by William Shakespeare perfectly captures my middle school experience. Let me explain why. The reason for this is connected to the fact that I did not expect to become the person I am now. The truth is, I did not expect to have so much support in middle school. Middle school at ISD has helped me create friendships that will last a lifetime, and that's not even the end of it. The amount of support I received from my teachers and administrators since the very beginning has helped me form confidence in and out of school. Due to the fact I was shy in the past, I was convinced I would never be able to do this. However, everything turned out to be different for me. In addition, middle school has helped me become a more reliable and responsible person. Before middle school, I was often described as careless. However, with time, I proved that I can be a whole different person. The thing is that I learned that it's extremely important to do things on time and in an exceptional way. That is why I want to express gratitude to my teachers, friends, and family who have helped me become the person I am now. Thank you.
Jaffa Wynne Smith.
One of the advantages of being disorganized is that one is always having surprising discoveries. This quote by Winnie the Pooh seemed fitting as I'm possibly the most disorganized person I know. And as most of my middle school experience is made up of me losing and misplacing things, these things have varied from homework to phones to trust. The things I've learned is that sometimes you'll find what you lost and sometimes you won't. I will never stop losing things, but when I'm looking for homework, I find my phone. When I'm looking for a lost friendship, I found more support than I ever knew I needed. And I didn't know I needed these things or that I had lost them because I never bothered to look.
Tomás Cardona de Muller.
No alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. This quote by Kyrie Irving describes perfectly my middle school experience. When I first arrived at ISD in 6th grade, I only liked soccer, and that was the only sport I did. But ISD gave me a lot of different options of sports to try, and I started to do volleyball, basketball, swimming, etc. And I started to do more than one sport, and I really liked it. I started to realize that sports were my passion and that sports made me so happy. So as my quote says, my passion wakes me up. I started to wake up excited for school every morning just to do my passion. The best part of middle school was WASO, but to make WASO possible, I have to thank a lot of people. First, I want to thank my coaches, but especially Coach Coffey and Mr. Bowler, because they were the best coaches anyone could ever ask for. I also want to thank my parents for always believing in me while doing sports and for making WASO possible for me. And also I want to thank my friends who made my WASO, my lunches, and my classes so much better. Thank you.
Noor Essayam.
You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. This quote by Dr. Seuss represents all of my Catched middle school experiences. Let me explain why. For me, middle school is like climbing a mountain. You start at the bottom of the path, and the more you follow the path, the more you get close to the finish line. For me, these past 3 years have been tough, but also amazing. For example, my friends and I didn't have great relationships before, but in the end, I have the greatest teachers, amazing classmates, and the world's greatest friends. After going through different paths, I realized what I've done wrong, and going through these different paths made me the person who I am today. And after arriving at the finish line, I will always continue to climb new mountains.
Nino Korsak Kulajenko.
Don't ever save anything for a special occasion. Being alive is a special occasion. I feel like this quote represents my middle school years the best because I enjoyed every step of the bumpy and smooth road. My middle school years were like a staircase, a new step every day, a new adventure every day, and there's no holding back because you don't know where the train is going unless if you hop on it. And if you don't like where it's going, well, you just jump off and land right back on your feet. I have some really nice memories from my middle school years, like the day where we did Secret Santa and critical thinking. And the boys, well, they forgot. I think that middle school is like a Gossip Girl type of book. Well, for some people. But in 6th grade, that book is empty, and it's ready for you to fill it up. I also have some friends that came along with me through this beautiful journey of middle school. Some I have to leave behind, and some that are going to come with me.
Chantal Akumu.
Wherever you go, go with all of your heart. My name is Chantal, and this quote superbly summarizes my 5-month middle school experience at ISD. Let me elucidate why. When I first joined the school in January 2020, I had many hobbies, ranging from sports to academics and immeasurably more. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily good in all of them, but this never stopped me from doing it. As I said, sports is one of my hobbies. During volleyball season, I was still adjusting to this new environment and trying to socialize. Then basketball season came around, and I saw massive improvement and progression from the last time I played. Here's why. It's because I played with all my heart. I would like to say a huge thank you to my family, friends, teachers, and whoever is watching this, because without you, it would not be possible. In conclusion, if you're doing something and you enjoy doing it, keep on doing it because you're doing it for yourself, and that's all That really matters. Thank you.
Madame Kapner's advisory. Ilona Kwakchev.
Life is like a range of mountains. When you finish climbing one, there are many other ones that you need to climb. For me, middle school was just like this comparison. Until you reach the top, you never know what is coming and what obstacles will attempt to bring you down. However, you should get back up if you fall and try again until you successfully reach the top, to then start climbing other mountains in life. We're all different and we each have our own pace when doing or learning different things. And that's why we should try our best to be successful in life. I would like to thank the school, including the teachers, coaches, and my friends for making my first 3 years memorable and beautiful. I managed to experience different things such as personal growth, building relationships, and growing as a learner. High school might be harder than middle school, but in the end, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. Thank you.
Mamadou Saliu Jallo.
Progress is impossible without change. Change makes us grow. This quote by Unknown captures my middle school experience. Let me tell you why. When I came to ISD, I was afraid to talk to others because of my shyness. One day, I had to wait until class ended to ask questions to the teacher. It must be hard to be in a new school and at the same time being shy, but I never gave up. I would like to thank my parents, my teachers, and the staff of ISD for supporting me throughout these tough years of being in middle school. Thank you.
Kayla Lefongo.
I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. This quote by Art Williams perfectly sums up my middle school experience because it was not easy, but in the end it was worth it. There were stressful situations, including working late at night, failed tests, and I even realized I was comparing myself to others. However, with help from my family, friends, and teachers, I was able to overcome these challenges. Despite these difficulties, my experience was rewarding because I got to be more open-minded about my environment, I got to travel and meet new people, and I got to know myself even better. I also realized that it takes time to know your identity. Indeed, middle school for me was an eye-opener. Thank you.
Jonathan Ori.
He who does not risk it all will achieve nothing in life. This quote represents my time in middle school very well. It is what it is, and that's okay. I will not say that I've risked it all, since I don't know what that really means. But I will find out. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe in 10 years. I don't know. But I will find it out. I'll find the meaning of risking it all. But I don't know it yet, since I'm just a middle schooler. What I have learned is that the more you learn, the more you realize that you don't know enough, and there's so much more to learn. It never ends, and neither should it. Middle school is just a tiny step on a long, long road. What can you do to make the most of this experience? Risk it all.
Aminata Rodriguez.
No matter how heavy the memories fall upon your heart, no matter what has come together or what has torn apart, there is still a reason you made it this far and how, despite everything, you're blooming as you are. I still remember how excited I was for my first day in middle school. It was a whole new experience and I couldn't wait for all the amazing memories I would create. Now, having finished with this chapter of my life, I can look back and tell you that, oh boy, was middle school one heck of a ride. I never expected to fall apart for friendships and create new ones along the way, or find out that I had passion for things I never even knew about. I was able to grow from the mistakes and learn not only from the mistakes I made and learn not only academically, but morally and socially. I'm only now starting to realize that everything truly happens for a reason. Middle school has taught me so much, and I'll forever be grateful for all the memories created. Now, having finished with this chapter of my life, I have another one ahead of me, and I can't wait to see how it unravels and how, despite what will happen, be it good or bad, there'll still be a reason I made it that far.
Sidya Sanon.
I want to thank ISD as a whole for these delightful years of my life I'll never forget. These years where I managed to build relationships, make memories, and grow as a learner and a person. I also want to thank all my teachers for putting up with me, as I know I'm probably not the easiest child to teach. A proverb I always try to remind myself of during these years is life is like a box of candy. You never know what you're gonna get. The different candies are memories and experiences. You don't know if you're gonna get a sweet, bitter, or sour experience until you have it. But the beauty of it is that you can still cherish it, and each and every one of those will help you grow. As I'm moving on to high school, I know it's not gonna be as easy as now. I know there are gonna be a lot of hardships, but I also know that all of those will help me grow.
Alexander Sasha Hamilton.
Nothing could be as hard as middle school. Zoe Deschanel. This quote is especially true now. Middle school is hard, especially at the end. I enjoyed middle school a lot when we were at school. Now I can't wait for it to end. I learned many new things in these past 3 years of my life. These could even be the most important 3 so far. I can't even count how many new things I learned. I enjoyed all my classes, well, almost all. When I first moved up to middle school, I was surprised at the amount of classes we had and was really excited to try them all. One of the things that kept me going in middle school was the friends I made. In middle school is where you start to get closer to some and more distant from others. People naturally separate themselves into groups of similar personalities and mindsets. I'd say I picked the right one, the one that helped me go through all of middle school. Thank you.
Shreya Barath.
First of all, I would like to congratulate all of the 8th grade students for finally moving up to high school. Every ending is a new beginning. This is a quote by Marianne Williamson, and what I believe this signifies in this situation is that today may be our last day as middle school students, but I also believe that our learning begins from today. Before middle school, I always received guidance from my parents, my friends, and my teachers. But when I came to middle school, I learned a lot of things, or rather, middle school taught me a lot of things. Middle school taught me how to be independent. Middle school taught me how to guide others. Middle school taught me the importance of taking risks and trying new things. And most of all, it taught me that it was about the growth and not the grades. And today, I am proud to say that everything I've learned in middle school has only helped me grow into the cultivated individual I am today. Thank you.
Paul Audrey Chala.
Someday, everything will make perfect sense. So for now, laugh at the confusion, smile through the tears, and stay strong. Keep reminding yourself that everything happens for a reason. John Mayer. Middle school will be those few years in your life where you'll have a bunch of ups and downs, hills and valleys, a whole lot of valleys actually. And during those valleys, it's very disappointing. You want to just curl up in a hole and disappear. And during those hills, you keep reminding yourself that eventually that thrill and joy will just end without you even knowing, even though it felt like a good time. And it won't ask for your permission. During those hills and valleys, you should live through that moment, and it will feel like a lifetime. But here I am writing this speech about going away from middle school. Didn't I enter 6th grade a couple minutes ago? Anyways, I'm going to go through a bunch of hills and valleys during high school, and I should always remind myself that it all happened for a reason.
Madame Cissé's advisory. Yassine Ben Baha.
I started off my middle school career with a really negative experience by moving to a new country with a really closed mindset about moving in and not being open-minded. 6th grade was a really hard grade for me because I never focused. I was never like involved. I was never social. I always got emails sent home because of my behavior. And then I ended off my year with a really negative push with bad grades and bad comments. And so came 7th grade. 7th grade, I had a really good push in the beginning, a really good push. I was doing in all my classes, I was doing really well. Everything was going very, very well, right? And so came April. April was the hardest experience for me because I gave all my effort, all my blood, work, sweat, and tears, and then I just became tired, and it ended. I started off 8th grade knowing I had to do my best. Everything I did was about accounted for. So I did it. Now I'm here. It's not about how you start off, but how you end on what you do.
Alana Busari.
What middle school meant to me. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. This quote summarizes my middle school experience perfectly. Let me tell you why. Middle school has shown me I am capable of many other things and have gotten me out of my comfort zone. 3 adjectives that fit my middle school experience are exciting, challenging, and supportive. Let me tell you why. Exciting. A new grade always meant a new adventure. It was always exciting. Challenging. Sometimes you have the feeling that you're not capable of doing something, maybe homework, maybe a test. That's where supportive comes in. My friends and my teachers were always there to help me, and I will always be thankful for them. And that's my middle school experience.
Narcisa Grigore Bird.
I'd like to dedicate this poem to my friends, family, and faculty at ISD, and staff for supporting me and helping me get through middle school. This poem is called This Is Just to Say by Carlos Williams. I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox, which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me. They were so delicious, so sweet, and so cold. Past years in middle school were the hardest years of my life. Like a plum, there was sweetness and bitterness. Sweetness was lying on the floor in class and dying of laughter for the longest time and not being able to stop. Sweetness was going home from school with friends and dying of laughter as we were running because I'd have to go to the bathroom before I peed my pants of laughter. Bitterness was having your best friend in class and not being able to talk to her when you're in a fight. Bitterness was also figuring out where you fit in within the school and within yourself.
Fatoumata Ina Maiga.
Every sunset brings the promise of a new dawn. Ralph Waldo Emerson. This quote sums up my middle school experience. A sunset carries out a multitude of colors, but they always seem to come together in the end. Middle school has been a huge part of my life that has carried out many changes and new beginnings. The opportunity to try something new is not something that everyone gets. With all the wins and losses, something that never leaves me is the experience. If life has taught me one thing, it's to be grateful for what you have. Middle school is something that I will definitely cherish and remember, not because I learned about taxonomy, evolution, Pythagorean theorem, revolutions, origin of the sun, the dreadful design cycle, and all that boring stuff. Just kidding. But because it truly has shown me the person I aspire to be. Middle school was a chance to experience many new things for me. If it weren't for middle school, I would have never joined the dance team, been in 3 theater productions, played volleyball, soccer, or basketball. The list goes on. But most importantly, I would have never gotten through without the amazing friends and teachers, and of course my family that supports me to this day. In the end, it all comes together as many great memories, but I hope I can continue making them in high school.
Mbango Usoko.
Behind you are your memories, before you are your dreams, around you are who love you, within you are you need. These past few years have brought so many memories I know I will never forget. It has set my future dreams. It has helped me realize who are the people who truly love me and that continuously stuck by my side. Lastly, it has shown me that all I need in life is to believe in myself and love myself first. Throughout the course of 3 years, I wouldn't necessarily say that every single memory I hold is pleasing. They so deeply impacted who I am and the person that I now leave middle school as. I've been fortunate enough to be given the amazing opportunities that help me notice the many strengths I possess. However, the two key things I believe I learned this year were to appreciate and be grateful for the people I have, and to also understand that nothing lasts forever. To conclude, I like to thank my friends and my mother. We never know what the future holds us, but I know I will forever be grateful for them. And as for my mother, I love you, and I appreciate everything you do for me. You are and will forever be my everything.
Ethan Asante.
This is my end of the year speech. Right now, I'm at my porch doing my work. I've been inside for a very long time. But to me, this year was worth it. At the beginning of the year, I didn't know what was in store for me. It was my first time living abroad, and when I finally got to the car, I moved 3 times waiting for the embassy to give us a house. Even before that, even before I stepped on a plane to get to Senegal, I was in a hotel waiting for the embassy to tell us that we could come in the car. We ate out all the time, cleaning our old house for our renters. For that, I was living a normal life, where my biggest worry was my next midterm. Then things got better. I made friends. I did things I never thought I would do before. I found a love for football. I visited so many places that I never thought I would see. Met so many delightful people. And throughout all the difficulties of this year, I think this school year was worth it.
Connor Tan.
For me, middle school is not the most exciting thing in the world. I can't say that it's been the most fun either, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel, or at least people say. To sum it up, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. A quote by Dolly Parton. When I first came, which was the beginning of middle school, the workload just seemed out of this world, and I didn't know anyone, but they all seemed to know each other. There are many new kids like me, but all of them just seemed to have clicked with someone else, and then they went on their way. It was only when the classes had really started that the bonds between each student became more apparent. But middle school is where I met my best friends. It was where I got to play games like tag and manhunt. It was really where I got to consider myself part of a community, and I'm equally as thankful for everyone in it. However, there are many struggles that led up to having this feeling of belonging. But for me, it was worth the storm to feel the calm.
Prithvi Iyer.
What did middle school teach me? Middle school taught me that it doesn't matter where I come from, but rather where I'm going. Let me elucidate how. Middle school taught me that it doesn't matter where I come from or what I've done in the past, but rather what I do now will matter. 3 adjectives fit my middle school experience: thrilling, strenuous, and learnful. Thrilling. Each new year meant more to experience, and it was so exciting. Strenuous. It always felt there was no end to the work, and there were just more and more. Learnful. Every day was a new chance to learn something new and something exciting. And that was my middle school experience.
Miss Long's advisory. Chloe Blanque.
We don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges. This quote sums up my experience in middle school. Even though going through middle school was a truly great time with fun memories that came with it, it was also somewhat of a challenge that I had to overcome in my life. Middle school was an experience that made me grow as a person. It made me see the true value in friendship, making mistakes, and then learning from them. Not only that, but this was the time where I truly found my passion for playing sports and working as a team, because middle school gave me an opportunity to expand my skills by going to Waisel and in general playing with my friends after school. Even though this moving up ceremony isn't a usual one, it is definitely a memorable one, and I'm excited to finally close this chapter of my life and move on to experience new, happy, and challenging.
Mart Leah Jaibe.
My 8th grade experience was like a hot air balloon. When the year first started, all I could think of is 8th grade being harder than 7th grade and high school being even harder. But when classes started, I could see a whole new world of things. I didn't think I'd have enough time to hang out with my friends, do after-school activities, study, and experience new things. But that wasn't true. This year, I got to join a dance studio, hang out with my friends, join basketball season, and still study. 8th grade is a time to grow, and this year I became more independent and more organized. One thing I have to say is to always keep your mind open to what has to come next. Thank you.
Terrence Hondegam.
Every step of your life will demand a different you, by Leonardo DiCaprio. This quote does his job well in illustrating my middle school experience, or should I say the maze. As a middle schooler, one of the best parts is the support you get and the vast variety of choices. Having the support of your friends, family, and teachers really didn't make a difference in my middle school experience. Also, having the choices of the activity and courses you do doesn't translate the difference between middle school and elementary school. One of the challenges I faced was socialization. Socialization was tough as a rock and hard, but I didn't give up. Adapting to a new environment and making new friends was not easy, and in the end, it made me a different person, completely different from my first year at ISD. Thank you.
Saran Keita.
Be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. Ziad K. Aldeno. This reminds me of my middle school experience because I've always been independent and didn't ask anyone for help. I didn't want help from people, and I wanted to show to people that I could do stuff by myself, even if I didn't have a partner. I started getting in trouble with teachers because I had the opportunity to go to them to ask questions, but I never did. And I got bad grades, and I didn't do anything about it, and I just kept on going. At some point, I got tired of getting in trouble all the time with teachers, and so I went to some teachers and went to go and talk to them. After talking to them, I realized that it wasn't a bad idea, and I realized I should have done that earlier. And I realized that sometimes I may need a little bit of help, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would like to thank everyone that helped me through my middle school years, and I will never forget how thankful I am to every single one of you.
Dolores Mabaya.
I entered middle school very clueless of the things I was going to have to face being 12, 13, and 14 years old. I made multiple bad decisions and I failed many times, but I also had many successful moments during middle school. Middle school really helped me find who Dolores Tika Mabaya is and what she wants for herself in high school and in life in general. I want to thank the people around me, such as my parents, counselors, friends, and teachers, for putting me on the right track. Leaving middle school, I now know the successful young lady I want to be, graduating from college and applying for my first job. I don't think I would know everything about myself today if it weren't for the people I was surrounded by, and that's something I'm really grateful for.
Stephen Akoa.
Middle school is like a game of Jenga. Once you learn how to play the game, it becomes easier, more fluid to manage yourself. But that takes time, and as you progress, you learn along the way to make new friends. You learn how to admit defeat and ask for help. You learn to know who you can trust, and you have a lot of people helping you guide the way, such as your peers, your parents, and your counselors. And that's what I'm very thankful for. So thank you. Also, middle school, it's just a process of learning more about yourself. So don't be too rushed to know too much about yourself. Just take your time and learn how to play the game. That's really all I have to say about middle school. Learn how to play the game. And thank you.
Giovanni, Gio, Dennis.
The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but building the new. Me moving to Senegal had made a big impact inside my life. At first, I didn't want the change. I just wanted to stay in my own habitat. But being here gave me a new mindset. It showed me that home isn't where you're born, but it's where happiness lies. Senegal taught me how to be patient and compassionate, and I wanted to thank my teachers and classmates for making my 8th grade year such a success. Thank you.
Ibrahima, John.
Follow your passion, and it will lead you to your purpose, by Oprah Winfrey. My middle school life was like a wild roller coaster. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're going to get, but it's hard to adapt to it. But the best thing that I've gained was the support from others and people I trust, like my family and friends and people I respect. But the hardest thing out of all of that was actually making those friends, because it's hard to communicate and sometimes you make mistakes. And I kept trying over and over again until a point where I thought about giving up. But then I found friends who love me for the person I truly am. And thanks to that, I was able to like the school year that I'm currently partaking in.
Jor Desal.
Life is like a roller coaster. Sometimes you close your eyes and hold into that sheer terror. And other times you just have to raise your hands up and enjoy the ride. I was once afraid to show myself to those people around me. But ever since I met all my friends and teachers, I learned how to love myself and express myself in a proper way. Thank you to Mr. Turban and all other ISD staff who made effort into making this ceremony happen. To all my friends who made me feel welcome and made me laugh, to all my teachers who guided me through the year and believed in me that I could do this. It's sad to say that this is the last chapter in my middle school life, but I'm happy to say that I'm starting a new one in high school. Thank you to my family who gave me strength and believed in me, especially to my parents who dedicated their life into protecting me and making me happy. I will cherish every memories and moments that we shared together. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the 8th graders. We are very proud of all your hard work over the course of the past 3 years and the wonderful people that you are still becoming. To write your 8th grade speeches while doing online learning is no small feat, and you have done incredibly well. We will close our ceremony with Mr. Lauren Bird, our secondary principal.
Dear grade 8 students, congratulations on the successes you've had. We very much want to be there in person with you for the moving up ceremony. And due to circumstances beyond our control, we're really unfortunate that we're not there able to celebrate you in person in Dakar on campus. Congratulations all the same. The progress that you've made over the past 3 years of your journey through middle school has been outstanding. From 6th grade to 7th grade, you continued to make progress. And over the course of grade 8, you continued to grow and excel. Your successes have been many. It's evidenced by the work that you did this year in terms of the grade 8 Without Walls trip, the service trip. In adverse conditions there, you did incredibly well. Your successes are seen academically, the growth that you've made over middle school, in particular this year. And you've also done incredibly well in terms of the attitudes, the dispositions that you've grown into. This is seen through the leadership you've shown on sports teams, with 2 of the Waisel teams this year, for example, winning sportsmanship awards. And for that, we're incredibly proud. And that reflects your growth and development incredibly well. You've emerged as leaders in the middle school. The successes you brought to life in terms of the middle school leadership council are strong. And you're incredibly well poised as you head off into high school. For most of you coming back, for those of you who are coming back next year, we look forward to seeing you on campus. as you move into high school. And for those of you who are leaving ISD, remember that we'll miss you and that you will always be part of us. Once Jaguar, always a Jaguar. Congratulations to the class of 2024, this year's grade 8s, and your moving up ceremony. Well done.
Thank you, Mr. Bird, and thank you to all the family and friends who came to celebrate our 8th graders. We are in strange times to be certain, but there is so much to be thankful for. One thing all of us who teach in the middle school are thankful for is our students, your children. Congratulations to the families who support the students, and congratulations to the students themselves. You have made the ISD Middle School a special place. We will miss you, but don't worry, we'll see you in 9th grade. Well done, 8th grade, the class of 2024.